much for joining us today. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in on the live streams. Today we will be releasing the coordinates of 209 suspected secret prisons in East Turkistan, or in Xinjiang, as the Chinese Communist Party calls it. We will also be releasing research from AFP, including Eva Zhao, UPAC, and the Earthrise Alliance, detailing 48 cemeteries which have been destroyed in the region. I'm going to walk you through very quickly how to access the data, and then I'm going to give you a very broad overview of the data, and then I will hand it off to the founder of our organization, Saleh Hudayar, and then we will be hearing from Zumrat Dawut, who is a survivor of China's concentration camps in the region. So first off, to access this new data, you can go to our website at nationalawakening.org/coordinates. If you scroll down here, you will see 4 download links now. The first one is for the base layer, which, if we look here at the map, is basically the geographic information. The second download link is of the 182 suspected concentration camps, which we released on November 12th. The third link is the new release of 209 suspected prisons in East Turkistan. These facilities are very new in terms of having been discovered. Most researchers have been looking at the concentration camps, but have not been looking for the traditional style prisons. These prisons are important because there are untold numbers of people being detained there. Many of them are political dissidents. In fact, it seems to be the case that those people who, quote, fail the re-education process are being sent to these prisons. These prisons have proliferated in recent years. For instance, in the town of Atush, there used to be 1 prison. Now there is 7? 5. Now there's 5 prisons. It's 4 new prisons within the past several years. So what we're witnessing in East Turkistan is really, I fear, genocide via incarceration. These facilities appear to have been designed to last for decades, and that tells you that the party, the Chinese Communist Party, is hell-bent on imprisoning these people, possibly for the rest of their natural lives. The recent release by the New York Times of 403 internal party documents further bears this out, and it shows that these crimes against humanity are being coordinated from the highest levels of the Chinese Communist Party. This 4th link that you'll see details some 48 destroyed cemeteries, and as I mentioned, that is from AFP and their researchers, as well as the Earthrise Alliance. If you come here to the map, after you download each of these data files, double-click them, open them, you will, of course, need Google Earth. And once you download them and open them, Google Earth will load them here into the left sidebar, and you can see quite clearly that the scope of detention is really unlike anything perhaps since the days of the Holocaust. You're talking about camps across the entire region. And as Zumrat Dawut will tell us here in a minute, they are not targeting simply men of military fighting age, which is the justification that they're using. The Chinese Communist Party is saying that the impetus for this mass detention is based on terrorism, or their counterterrorism strategy. We can tell by looking at the number of camps and by looking at the people who have been detained that that is a bald-faced lie. These camps and prisons and labor camps, and we will be releasing those labor camp ordinance within the coming weeks. These facilities are not simply imprisoning young men. They're imprisoning women, elderly people, children are being separated from their families. Today is International Day of the Child. And in East Turkistan, children are being separated from their families and placed into state-run orphanages. The families are actually losing track of the children. They're not telling them where they're taking their children. And so really this is a forced child separation policy, which is probably really the largest child separation policy in the world today. And this is a huge violation of the rights of children, the rights of families, the rights of parents. So it's important to bear in mind that when you see these concentration camps, when you see these prisons, when you see these labor camps, there are families who are being affected. These are not just the individuals inside. These are the entire families, right? So the entire society in this region is really suffering as a result of these policies. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sully right now. Sully can give a little bit of background on really what they're doing to people in the camps and in the prisons. And we'll talk about that for a little while, and then we'll turn it over to Zumrat, and Sully will be translating for Zumrat. So Sully?
So effectively, what China is doing, essentially, as Kyle mentioned briefly earlier, is genocide by incarceration, and this not only affects the people inside the camps or the people inside East Turkestan, but also our entire diaspora community. In fact, many of the Uyghurs here have members of their family in these camps. I personally have close to 100 relatives that have been detained into these camps, prisons, and labor camps. So we don't really know what happened to them. A few of them have been killed under mysterious circumstances, and we assume that they've been killed because the government has refused to even return the bodies. And this is not just happening to my family, but other families across our diaspora community as well reported the same thing. As I mentioned last time, in one concentration camp, Radio Free Asia reported that over a period of 6 months, some 150 people had died in these camps. In fact, a Chinese police, a Uyghur police chief in East Turkestan, he was arrested because at a private party he had shown sympathy and, stated a few things saying, "Oh, I feel really bad for the people dying in these camps." So they sacked him and they arrested him for his comments at a private party. So this is effectively affecting everyone in the region and outside of the region. And outside of the region, what's happening is that China is pressuring certain countries in Central Asia, in the Middle East, to deport Uyghurs that are living there to East Turkestan. They're also, terminating the passports of Uyghurs and kind of rendering them stateless. And so this is issues that our organization has been facing. In terms of what's going on the ground, I mean, numerous survivors have stated that they've been tortured, that they witnessed, in some cases, they've witnessed the rape of other inmates in these facilities, and this rape does not just include women, but also men as well. There's forced medication. Reports have came out that China is actually transferring, and we've seen videos of this, of transferring Uyghur detainees to other parts of China, like cattle. And the China Tribunal on Organ Harvesting actually stated that China may be harvesting the organs of Uyghur detainees, Uyghur and other Turkic detainees in these camps, taking them as far off into Xinjiang province, which borders the South Korean border, or the Korean border, which is a big market for organs. And now I just want to pass it off to Zumrat Dawut to give us a more clear picture, because she has actually been through this concentration camp, or so-called re-education training. And so I'd like to ask, give it to her to speak about this.
Lager'ın topluluğu yazınki kölgelerimiz, tecrübelerimiz aşağıda yaşlılar
Xitoylikda azaldan bizni bosib kelgan. Muşu 2016 oxiridan boshlab bu avjiga chiqdi deb hisoblangan.
The Chinese government has always persecuted us, but especially since 2016, it's gotten to an unprecedented level.
Arzimas jinoyatlarni ortib uyg'ongan. Masalan, chet ellik fuqarolar bor, chet elda ber baqqan, chet elda yashab baqqan, yog'insa qaramaqalarga ba'zan yo'lda viza olgan, pasport ijodiy degan bahonalar bilan uyg'urlarni qaramaqqa tushirishdi.
By putting forth ridiculous reasons for arresting Uyghurs, such as you have contacts overseas, or you got a visa to a country overseas, or you tried to get a passport, or you visited foreign countries. By using these ridiculous excuses, China is arresting and detaining Uyghurs.
Türkulağa bəzənlər ətlərini düşərənlər, yoki bo'lmasa Allah'ın ismi bağ qaranak alqı, resmi qanaslar bilan yoki aşındak alqı, İslam'a ait qanaslar düşərənlər degan aşı mübarək.
Another excuse is that you downloaded certain apps on your phone, you had pictures that contained the term Allah, or you had religious content on your phone, and even that is some of the excuses for you to be arrested and detained.
Sakal qılğan, namaz ötügən, İslam'a ait bilim alğan digərlərin arasında imam bolğan, məzun bolğan, həmisi filan.
And for growing a beard, for praying, or for having seeked religious knowledge, or being a religious cleric, or even an imam, or a muezzin, for example, the person who calls the prayer. Even those are reasons for you to be detained.
Bunun arasında 15 yaş tutanlarla tartıp 80 yaşlık adamlar gidiyor.
Among these groups is people from age 15 to 80 years old.
Ben bu 2018'de 3. ayın 31. günüsü Meşhur'da cezalarına kırıp çıktım.
On 2018, on March 31st, I was taken to China's concentration camp.
Ben o yolculuğum Pakistan'da. Biz 2015'de toplamda 3 balımız var.
My husband is from Pakistan. We got married in 2005, and we have 3 children.
2018 yılı 3. ayın 31 Şenlik Kristi balların iyide demava.
On March 31st, 2018, it was Saturday. My children were at home. There was no school, so we were just at home.
Tunuksa sakçıkandan bir kontrol derhal sakçıkanan köpek işini etti.
Then suddenly we received a phone call from the police station telling me to come to the police station immediately.
Sakçıkanı biz öyle yakın bakalım ki supplication olan sakçıkanı var diye çıkıp kullandık.
Because the police station was close to our home, I just walked to the police station with my sandals and my phone.
Şifin kırışımda telefonum tatlı telefonumu verdi.
As soon as I walked into the door, they took away my phone, telling me to give us your phone.
Telefonumu verdi, ışık saktığını açsak çıkanlar yarası iyice bütün orunda kaydı, ortamda tutmuşlar. Falan bir tutamlayan yerin çıkanlar aslında ortamda.
And then 2 police took me to the basement of the police station and put me in a chair where they cuffed my hands and legs to the chair.
Ortamda bina konuda başında kararlarda urulgan kırılgan telefonumla onu giymenin ki bütün minan çıkardı erkekti onda.
In their hands, they had a couple documents that had all the phone numbers that I had called or that had called me. They said that you contacted some foreigners. Inside those, including those were my brother-in-law and my in-laws and a few other foreigners. I used to have an import-export company when I was back in East Turkistan. This company was operated and administered by myself and my husband. When my husband would go overseas or outside to a foreign country, some of our customers would call me. They said, tell us who these numbers belong to, and I said, I don't know. Some of my customers, they might have called me, and I might have picked up the phone. Since you have these numbers, why don't you investigate and find out yourself? They left the 4 pieces of the 4 papers, documents in front of me, and told me to think about it and walked out. And then half an hour later, they came in with another 4 documents, and on this it was my bank account information. And in this, it contained transactions that came in and that went out, and they said that you sent money to 2 foreigners. I said because I have a company, because of business, I have to send money. Sometimes my customers send me money. Sometimes I have to send money out. So this is a normal thing. It's a normal business transaction.
Sen ne için başka devletlerde bağ gelişmek istemedi?
They looked at their papers and said that you visited numerous other countries. Tell us why you went there. What was your intention?
Ben daha hakkında hem seyahat idaresindeki şu Xitay'ın uygun seyahat idarelerindeki seyahat yeni yerlerinden nurgun devletler vardım onların. Lekin vakti geldim. Ben etrafımdaki seyahat giderip sürekli görüp ve seyahat idaresinde ispat çıkarıp ekledim.
I had actually traveled over to different countries through China's own travel agencies, and because I saw that many Uyghurs were getting arrested because of this, I had actually printed out the proof of this.
Ben dedim, ben bazen seyahat idarelerinden vardım. Fakat bu misafla yoluşum adamlar öyle seyahat idaresinden çıkarıp bana ispatla. Ben şahsi iş kaynakları yapamadım. Başka böyle yapıyorum. Şu seyahat idaresinde bana ispatlıyorum. Şimdi açıktan söyleyeyim.
I said I didn't go without without anyone knowing. I used a travel agency to go overseas, and I even have the proof. You can call my husband, and he can bring the proof from our home.
Şunu bulabilirsen Amerikan vizesi vereceğim pasaportuma. Ben 2016 gibi Amerikan vizesi iltiması vize yapıyorum.
They said that you got an American visa on your passport, and in 2016 I had applied for a visa to the United States and received it.
Sonra Amerika vizesi erişanlıkı maksadında yani. Zaten Amerika'ya kim müştüm varsa, kayısı teşkilatını biraz çarpıdı mı? Ne müştüm varsa Amerika'ya, depremi pek aşağı çıkandılar neticede uygun.
They asked me, what is your intention of going to America? Who called you there? What organization invited you? Why are you going? And while asking this, they beat me up a few times.
Şimdi birisi yani birisi Türkiye'yi aşağı çıkanlar yüzden küçük otanlıkları küçük aşağıya otanlık.
And then throughout the night, they kept me in that police station.
Yansın vermediği yakalamak.
They didn't give me any water or any food.
Ertesi ertegende yine bir bakışsak gibi bakacak dedim. Ertesi ertegende yine aşağı kulağımda koyza bizim taraftan kevizip sağ çıkanı aldığına bir tümünün başına başladı maksız. Aşağı besip yine atladım.
The next morning, they handcuffed me and put a black bag over my head and put me into a police van and took me away.
Sağ çıkanın bir 40 minutten 50 minutten mağamanın nedeniyle bilgilerden buraya ekletmeli bir şey kabul edildi. O bir doktorxanada bir yerdi.
After 40 to 50 minutes of driving, they brought me to some place and they lifted the bag over my head, and it looked like it was a hospital.
Kırsam uyarım nurgun uygulayanlar vardı. Hemisi o teşeğe sakçı giyimi, işçine sakçı giyimi, teşeğe halat giyvagan aşında doktorlar vardı.
And when I went in there, I saw a lot of Uyghur women, and then there was a bunch of women that on their inside they had police uniforms, but on their outside they had the nurse or medical clothing.
Uyaya kirgenlikin şu hatırısıga orundu aldı kayını. Hemmemizden yanında özümüzde ekegen sakçılar aradaki nurgun ayalla aşağı bana okşayış. Aslında kolumuzu közüne oturuyorduk.
And there was a lot of us. There was chairs, and we were all sitting. Every woman was like me. They had handcuffs, and the police that brought them next to them.
Biz aş nöbet boyunca birden kanımızı aldık.
And then one by one we were forced to give our blood.
their blood sample.
Avazımızı aldı.
They recorded our voice.
Göz nurumuzu, gözümüzün nurunu aldı.
They scanned they scanned their eyes and retinas.
Aş çırağımızın işte orada uzun durup ne çıkarttım ayak kara, aldı kara, üstü kara, aşında kara.
They scanned our whole face. They told us to turn left, turn right, up, down, and pretty much took our facial scan.
Sordu sen Uygucu bilemsen hangisi bilemsen. Ben dedim ben Uygucu bilmem. Ondan sonra anlatacağım. O kadar ya. Ama orada aldığım mikrofonda. Tahminen 15 minut. Bir de mani okumasan yana baştan başla. Yana okumasan yana baştan başla. Okuyuverdi. Ama orada aşağı okudum.
They asked me if I spoke Uyghur or Chinese. I said Uyghur, so they gave me a document. They said read this, and they said if you finish reading it, read it again. And they recorded this with a microphone. So about 15 minutes, I was forced to repeatedly read this document.
Muş 10 parmağımızın hemmisinin içinde birden aşağı listeleri.
They got our fingerprints, all 10 fingers, one by one.
Mışıldak bir öyken, andak öyle içinde doktor otururken, üstüde bir list okşak mesela anlarsınız da, o listik aldığa, kendine marken, o aynı tip öyle içinde doktor otururken, bizde aşağı kırdığı, ama onu kırıp öldürdüğü, o listik özüm ağrıken, yani kendine marken, aşağı doktor öldürdü.
So, and then they put us in a room where it was something like not an elevator, but something that moved up and down, and there was a window in which there were doctors, and they would tell us that we would just stand there and it would move up and down. So we could, not a treadmill, like what do you call it? When you go out of the it's like it goes up and down like escalator, yeah, something like an escalator.
Aşağıda aldı. Aradaki onların bizi taşımada minibüs vardı. Boyumuzu ölçeceğim. Şunu da nasıl tutacak, sınırımızı tutacak. Aşağıda tutacak resimler.
Then they gave us a thing to hold with our name and measured our height and took a picture of us. They checked our urine samples.
Mesela ayarlarındaki onlarla yüzük sağlığı sanmadan
They checked to see if the woman had fingers
ya ayarlarındaki
they checked this as a tool checklist.
Tabii çekiş kaldılar yüzüklerden mi?
They were trying to see if they had a contraception, like the woman had contraception. Yeah, like IUD inside their IUD inside their body part.
Aşılarını tekşürüp boğuculuk mu etrafındaki uygu ayarları cekallı. Ne olur bunumuz var. Şimdi birisi yaklaşmaysa yaklaşmadı. İş karşımızda kanda kimo, kanda kandı. Müşterilerce ortası saklı. Aşı tekşürüşlerden hemisi tübütürek bir ehaz yakalamışta ortası.
While during the whole process, while we were undergoing these examinations and this whole process, there were a lot of Uyghur women. They told us that you can't talk to one another, and so we just stood there handcuffed, stone-faced the whole time.
Biz o yerden şu tekşürüşler tükenirken yine bir abağa sattılar yine. Hadi de yine olmasa okşaştır asap kalkısıga hemen nesini elip kırmızı sattılar. Yine cümlede etmandı.
Then the police that brought me after all this process was over, they had a bunch of documents in an envelope similar to this, and they took me somewhere else again.
Yine bir saatte olmadan beni şu üstümü kapattık.
And then after, saçtan oturması mı? Başka yapma.
Yok,
Başka yer yok.
Türmedi, başka türmedi. Hakikaten türmedi.
After another hour of driving the car, they took me to a prison.
Uyarı kırga vaktinde işte bir darvaza kırdı. Kırgandan keyin bir ulanın bir küçük bir ölü varken.
When we came in, we went through a gate, and as soon as we came in, there was a small little building.
Yine apağın saçına ağlangan köydeki materyaller yine tapşırık vergen baldı. Şununla ulaşıp
Then they gave the documents to the personnel in the small building, and with that they have now custody over me.
yine her ayol sakçı, işte er sakçı, bir kiyim anlaştırılan ülke, türmedeki kiyimini kiyse hep kiyimini verdi. Belki ben kalsam o işte erkek sakçımı var. Ben dedim bana bağıya rakanda anlattırmaya dese. Anlattırıyorsan bir şeyden hep söylüyor.
Sakçılar yolu bitti.
Stay.
So there were 3 police officers. One was a female officer, 2 were males, and they were Chinese. And they told me, they gave me the prison clothing. They said that you're going to change your clothes into this. And I said, there's the male police officers here. I can't change in front of them. And they're like, no, you're going to change in front of them. So they had me strip down and change.
Kim anlattırmış o. Bir şeyler anlattırsa dedim. Ben ayol kişiler, kişiler var. Ya da kadar kim anlattırma desem. Anlattırmamız bunun başka sakçı kim olacak diye nasıl dedi.
They said that I said I'm a woman. I can't change in front of these two men. And they said, are you going to change your clothes or not? If not, they're going to tear off your clothes.
Ama yok onlar işte her kişi bir ayalık kim anlattırdı.
Because I had no choice, I was forced to change my clothes in front of a woman police officer and 2 male police officers.
Kolumga, kamga, zincirlik, işgallar bir sebep.
And they cuffed me on my arms and on my legs with chains.
Eğer bir uzun koridor içe geçecek maldo.
And they took me down a very long corridor.
Bir öyle kırdı yani kırdım. Bir de kırdı diye bırak kolda içine.
They put me into a cell.
15 yaştan 70 yaş Uygur ayollarımız var.
And in this cell there was either women from 15 years old to 70 years old.
Yerimizi yıkatı, yerim örtü ortası.
Half of them were laying down and half of them were standing.
Bu bayılan bahçede.
There were elderly women, grandmothers inside the cell as well.
O gün isimli. Evet, yenice. Böyle tarafından uğraştırmadı.
That day they didn't
Yani yerim okula, yerim okula.
Oh, and then that day they didn't tell me, they didn't put me into the duty, like, so half of them would lay down and half of them would be awake watching the others, so they didn't require me to do that day.
İşte Kırıştığını aldığı diye etraftakiler işte dikkatim hep soruluysa hem yer kamera var seni görüp durdular.
Before I even got into the cell, they told me, you're not going to talk to anyone. There's cameras all inside the cell, and they're going to be watching you.
Dün öyle kamera ban yani o birinin ama burada bir tuzakları yok.
the whole cell, they have cameras all over, and where there's the toilet, they don't even have anything to, you know, cover the toilet, prevent the camera from seeing it.
And sizlarca bizden köp dostlarımızdan da körüp durduğun sakçılarımızdan açıp çok obanın otağımızı kömesme.
And do you think that the police that are, you know, watching us, try to prevent us from speaking to one another, do you not think that they're going to watch us, you know, when we're using the bathroom?
Yani asla küçülme dedim ki bazen hani pek küçük kızlardan 15 yaş kız var da işte yani o kızlar büyük olduğunu millet kırgınlığı. O kızlarla pek kıyarlar yani tabi etki oldu. Telefonda biraz küçülmeye bakın et okşadı. Şu açlık düşergenleri düştü kırık vardı.
So I whispered and asked, you know, people why they were in here, and there was the youngest was a 15-year-old girl, and she told me that because she downloaded this app, it's called Koya, something that you transfer files or something like that, and because she had that app, she was thrown into this cell.
İşte de 65 yaş arkadaşlarım birisi yani 50 yaşında arkadaşlısı şahsi yararında bağlılığı için kırıktı.
And then there's a 65-year-old lady and a 55-year-old lady who was detained because they had went to, you know, do a personal Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca.
Yine Atina'da yüzücü kovan ülken mecburi aslında saksıla özü darla her bir işçiliklerge iş güzüp ağızlarını açacak aç buzup darış kovan ülken ağızını açacak görüp
In the mornings, right after we wash our face, the police come and they give us medication and they say swallow it, and then after we swallow it they tell us, you know, open your mouth just to check.
Onu dediğimde mesela okşaş bir çoğu bir zalda muallimli bir kapaz okşaş bir nerse içeri sola koydu. Kapaz o kapaz özde malum ders sözü şey diyor kıyas şey diyor alakaya. Naftacıda okumadan kurulun tartıp naftacıda düşünüp etmeyeyim. Şu 18. kurultayına ki birisi sözlerdi. O ağzından vatandan çıkıp ağzı silahını kelgендeki mi Amerika'daki köyde mi Afgan katılakandı bizanla onun mezbuni bizge burun acıvetenli vakti ürük boğanı.
So then they took us into a room like this, and inside there's a cage, and inside that cage there's a teacher, and that teacher teaches us Xi Jinping's thought and everything that was, you know, described in the 18th Chinese assembly, like the People's Consultative Conference, I guess, Congress. And before this, when I came to the U.S., I found out they released this white paper. All that white paper was actually taught to us while we were in this cell.
En bu dağın işgaliyken insanlar bedende o kuvvet yok da, can yok da, bunun üstü tamamlamış şunda bir alıktı. Mesela görüş yaşıyorsa, düşüncelik sanı vağıdaki bir jigirim tavdaki görüş var, soğuk ağını. Ana değil ki şey tam yapanarsın gördü, üstü gelip biz ağlap taşıttığımız sözlerdik, damaklarını. Aşılarını kayıp gördü.
And then the medication, you know, it makes us feel very tired, like we don't have any strength. And then as for the food that they give us, it's watered down rice. Like if you count it, it's barely like 20 little grains of rice. And sometimes they give us some carrots, you know, the ones that you clean out and throw away. Those are the ones that they give us, you know, they put it in like a soup type of thing, and they feed us that.
Endi birinci tamaktan işkelenci doğrunun küçüden ışkanda kolumuzda calkanmaydı. Şundakta maaş malımda kudu biz bir zahmelendirip koyduğanday. Yanına şu aşında yergelemiş kal otağız biz. Müşbeti aş malımdan digen getirip 3 saat açtı ağlayız.
And because of the medication, you know, and the food that they feed us, we don't even have any strength to even like stand. But because they feel like we're going to, you know, harm the teacher, they, you know, have the teacher in the cage and they have us cuffed like this, and we're sitting down like that for 3 hours and listening to the teacher.
Her bir derslikindeydim. Allah babu.
After every lesson, after every class, they ask us, is there Allah or is there God?
Allah işlemişlerdi.
Do y'all believe in Allah or God?
Ya değişkin mi? Adiyemmedim. Xi Jinping bağımına, Xi Jinping bağımına dedi şunu.
And because of that, over there, nobody can say yes. So they say Xi Jinping, there's Xi Jinping, Xi Jinping is.
Aşımda beni nurgun adamlar ölüdü, nurgun adamlar kıstaklarının içinde ölüp gidiyordu. Nurgunlarını anlaştırıp aşı. Bugün baba adamı ertesi yeni bir yere kapırıp aşında işçilik adamlarını özara birisi gibi tunuşup da bakıp gitmesinden ki aşında anlaştırıptım.
A lot of people die because of torture and the situation, and a lot of new people come and go. In fact, they constantly transfer us from one cell to another, or from one place to another, so that we don't, you know, become acquainted with one another.
İşte de bir 65 yaşlık bir ayol apaçtek adam baktı. Beni apamlık tekkerim de apaç ne üzerine apistek görüp o içinde kesel tatıdı. Şunda kıçkap bedelleri gene hem jünmayımız işkayet jünmadı.
There was this 65-year-old woman, and because my mother had passed away, I became close to this woman in the cell, and I saw her as my own mother, and you know, we all got a bit sick, and we were all itchy because we hadn't showered in 2 months.
Şu 65 yaşlık apaçkan ben hem yeni kirgen günüsü. Ben bilmedim o birisi tamak lazım cezayı saklanmalılığını. Bence o insolun oradaki o apaç şikayet kesel var. Ben şu üzerindeki yeri kalmamışsın ama ya işkim onda da gap kılıçkılık koymagandıki ben bilmedim bunu dersen bulamda bulmamdı.
And so on the first day that I was in the cell, because I didn't know that you were not even allowed to share your food with anyone, this 65-year-old woman, she had diabetes. She had diabetes, and because of this, I decided to give her one of my little dumplings, and
Şu an ben hani o apaç tamak koymayadım diyen hep yapıldı. Şu an kulağımda mağabeler ödülüp peki küçük mama olmadır çok mama ben. Aş mamadır özlemlikin beriptim ben. Manesiz yandan yine ne yapacağım.
because she said I'm still, you know, I'm feeling hungry. I gave her my dumpling, and it's just about this big, and
Aparattan onu görüp kalkan şey kırgen perdede bakıyor. Tokkal tek tokmakla iş kısakçı pek vurup getirin.
and then I guess they saw it in the camera, and then they immediately came, and with an electric baton they beat me. 2 police officers beat me.
Yani şu tayağının azabı da o bedenim ağırganlıkken afkoda da saptım ben.
And because of this pain that I was going through, and because my body hurt, I said, "Oh God."
Şunu olanı sen Kuda'nı tepe, Kuda benim de seni kutkansızsın.
And they said, after that, they said, you know, then find God. Where's your God? tell him to come rescue you from my hands.
Kudaya yaman boz beni hazır ekesin benim yerimden.
If your God is so great, tell him to come take you away from me right now.
Şunu işki gün kopanmadım beni yani onunla fakat kopanmadım işki gün. Benim hiç kanda işki orlaştırmadı, hiç kanda kılmadı alıp onunla kopkarak bedenim gelip tokkal tekrar urgan diken bu. Bedenlerim kök etti aşağıdan nesin kök olmaydı aşağıdan.
Because they had beaten me with the electrical baton and I got, bruises all over my body. I didn't have the strength to even get up, so for 2 days I just lay there.
Bir gün tamak vermedi, iki gün onunla kopmayı aşı, mağam eskanda hareket kılmayı yaptı.
I went without food. They didn't give me food for 1 day, and for 2 days I just lay there, not moving.
Andi benim iki ay turumuz buldum, lekin bu iki ay 200 yıldek öttü bana. Andi onu dep gelsem, birden dep gelsem bana 5-6 ay azlık oldu. Her 1 minuttan tarttı.
I stayed in that prison for 2 months, but that 2 months felt like 200 years for me. And if I talk about every moment, it'll take me several months to describe every.
Külde aşında adamların yükkeşler, yani ekirişler o külde şu adam azlap kalmaydı, açık gitti, kırmaydı. Ya onu öttürüvettim o çıkıp, ya ezanı apırıp sitivettim ama biz hiç neyse bilmeyiz hem de.
On a daily basis, they would transfer people in and out. They would take some people out, and we don't know if they killed them or if they, harvested their organs. We don't know, but the number of people would not decrease. They would just constantly bring new and new people in and out.
Külde şu ders, şu dariye dagan ders, şu aşağı işler tekrarlanıyor yani ben 6. ayının ki ikinci günüsü beni tuyuksuz sırtı çıktı diye makulda çıktı.
So every day it was just classes, fourth medication, and then on June 2nd, they told me to come outside suddenly.
Talağa çıksam beni yine aşım ben mağoş beni ekegen okşatmaşan karkatın kebizip yine akmam.
And then after I got outside, they put a black bag over me and put me in the black police van and took me again.
O hılı bir saatten artık mağan denken bir ekirip maşını düşerdi. Şu oturup durdu, onu bir saf çıkarken arasam.
Then after an hour and a half, after an hour of driving, they took me to another location and they told me to sit down. And I looked around and it looked to be another police station.
Qarsam ekirgenden keyin mening qulamdagi ko'zim evatdi, tutamdaginim evatdi, dishimdaginim evatdi, ay o'tirib turdi deya maqlab o'tirdi.
After I was in there, they removed they had the cuffs on my hand and on my legs and removed the black bag and told me to just sit here, and so I just sat there.
Men bo'g'inni bilmayman, men apmangandim, men atqilab o yoki bir undan cho'ng jazolarni qilib apmandim, men hech narsa bilmaydim.
So I didn't know what was happening. I was worried that I was thinking maybe they're going to execute me or they're going to give me a bigger punishment.
Şu saqchiqanaga keldim, işte qarsam aynakdan mana da yo'ldashimni o'tib ketayotganligini ko'rdim.
And then through the mirror, I saw my husband walking.
O'g'uchilik meni imzo qo'ydi deb aytib, Xitoy xatga narsaga imzo qo'ydim.
Then they told me to sign, a few documents, and I signed a bunch of Chinese documents that I don't really understand.
O'g'uchi bir Uyg'ur saqchi dedi, ichidagi hech qanday gapni sirtqa demaysiz. Xitoynikini tarjima qilib.
And then a Uyghur police officer translated what the Chinese police officer said and told me that you're not going to tell anyone what happened inside.
Sakçıların ismini aşkarlamayısınız, işidikilerin ismini aşkarlamayısınız.
You're not going to tell any police officer's name. You're not going to tell anyone, any of the detainees' name to anyone.
İşçilerin umuman aytganda içideki hech qanday gapni sirtqa demaysiz. Agar deb qalsangiz bundan keyin texmi unudan ortiq yakir ketsiz.
And they told me that you're not going to talk about anything that happened inside, and if you do, you'll go into much more darker place than where you've been.
Şuran bilan yo'ldoshim bo'lma ochadi deb biz o'zligimizdan akappaga biz saqchilarni hech qanday nimiz yo'q. Biz buni ideyasini chetaq qo'ygandan keyin biz o'zimiz akappada shu tarbiyalash markaziga deb xat yozadi. Nima imzo qo'yib aşağı imzo qo'yib.
Then they told my husband the same thing, and they told him to sign a document that said, oh, because she had, ideological problems or sickness, we voluntarily sent her here to this re-education camp.
Şu yo'ldoshim meni imzolani qo'yib qo'ygandan keyin nima qilib chiqdim.
After my husband signed all these papers, I was released.
Endi bu yurib chiqishimdagi sababni tushuntirib beray.
And the reason, now I'll talk about the reason that I came out.
Meni yo'ldoshim Pakistandan bo'lgandan keyin bu meni Urumchida meni akib ketgandan keyin butun bormagan saqchixona mushu saqchi sohasidagi qonun sohasidagi har qanday yerga berdi.
After they arrested me, my husband, because he's Pakistani, he went through all the he went to all the police stations and other places in the and other government organs, departments throughout the Urumqi, trying to find me.
Her qanday yerda biz bilmaymiz, biz deyishga bo'lmaydi. Buni sen so'rashing xato.
To every place responded with, we don't know, don't ask us this, you asking this is wrong, we don't know.
Sonra bu Pakistan'daki Pakistan konsulluğu yoluşum verler bir netsi. Çünkü biz onu Pakistan toy kılganlar kadarca şu Xinjiang arasında koşun devleti olmuş. Şunlar bu bir netçimizni bırak akıp etkenlikin bunlar birleşip Beijing konsulluğuna ertdi ayağımız kurtaşın.
Because a lot of Uyghur women married Pakistani men, and because they were detained too, a lot of them, were joined together and went to the Pakistani embassy in Beijing to file a formal complaint.
Şunlar o Pakistan'ın konsoldan biz polis işalarımızda gidiyorlar biz mesela bir kat kaldırdı yapıyoruz onları gidiyoruz gidiyorlar dedi. Birinci katında hikmet yana sürüştük sanırım koyuyorlar yana tozluğa bağlı toprağına da asılsın ya koyuyoruz bulmaydı.
So after they filed this complaint, the Pakistani embassy told them, we're speaking with the Chinese on this issue. You just go back and wait for us. And so her husband went to Urumqi and told them, I talked to the Pakistani embassy. They told her to release him, and they're like, no, we can't release her.
Yana koyuklaganiki yana bir azroq vaqtni o'tkazib 5-10 kun o'tkazib ko'rishim yana qayta yana Pakistan konsuluna oldi.
After 5-10 days, my husband went to the Pakistani embassy again.
Bizda to'y qilganlar jiq bo'lgandan keyin ularni beshiga og'irg'idimi konsulniki. Xinjiangdan qanday qadam kelsa shu ayoli to'g'ri bilan so'raydi javob olamiz. Biz ularni qabul qilmaymiz.
Because there was a lot of people like us who had married Pakistanis, so a lot of Pakistani men were complaining to the Pakistani embassy, and so at the gate they asked them why are you here, and when they mentioned that they had family in East Turkistan or what China calls Xinjiang, They said, oh no, we're not going to accept him inside.
Yoldaşımla bir qancha Pakistanlik do'stlarga aşağıda Beijing'da turishliq chet el muxbirlarini aşağıda chaqirtirib ko'rsatgan.
Then these petitioners, including her husband, called a bunch of foreign journalists in front of the Pakistani embassy.
Chaqirgandan keyin u yerda hadab ularga deb turmushi bizning ayollarimiz hech qanday gunoh yo'q. Ularni Xinjiangda mustaq Uyg'urlarni tutib qolganimizda tutib ketdi. Ya bizga ayolimizni o'g'ri, ya yanchukchi, ya bulangchi deb bizni qo'limizga hech bo'lmasa bir narsa bermadi. Sababsiz kirib ketdi deb muxbirlar so'zlar aytdi.
They all spoke to the journalists and said that, you know, our wives have been detained for no reason. They didn't give us a reason saying that, oh, they committed this crime or that crime, and so they're detained for no reason.
To'satdan Guantin Xinjiang Uyg'ur Guantin'da Cemaat Xavfsizlik idorasidan yo'ldoshimniki atrofidagi birsiga telefon keldi.
And then all suddenly, someone from the Public Security Bureau called her husband from the Thomas Region Public Security Bureau.
Chunki burun
That bureau asking them to release their wives numerous times.
telefon kelib sizlar hozir Pakistan konsulining oldida ashlar bilmabdilar.
They asked us, you know, they called and asked us, asked them, are you in front of the Pakistani embassy?
Sizlar nereden bo'lsa yoki onlar bo'ldimi shu qatim sizlarni amishonlarni biz bir talab qilamiz, ayollarni ochib beramiz. Ularga ortiq gapirmanglar, muxbirlarga.
They said, come back, we'll release your wives, just don't talk to the journalists.
Sally, may I interject here? It looks like we're running out of time here. Rahmat Zumrat. What Zumrat has described is truly sadistic and diabolical. And her saving grace was that her husband was a foreign national. But there are so many women in East Turkistan who don't have the luxury of having a husband who is a foreign national who can exert diplomatic pressure on the Chinese government to free them. It is vital that the international community take note of the coordinates that we have released today, that they exert all of the pressure that they can on the Chinese regime through sanctions, through diplomatic démarches, and through other means to bring this crisis to an end. I want to thank everybody who tuned in today on the live stream. I want to thank the journalists who came as well. This is not over. There is more data that is coming. We will be releasing the labor camps within the next couple of weeks, and other data as well. It is really up to the Chinese Communist Party how much pain they are willing to endure to continue these genocidal policies, because we will not stop, and we will continue to do everything that we can to bring nonviolent pressure against the regime until they cease and desist from this mass incarceration. Thank you so much.